Post Australia. I don't know why we record.
Oh, I just
sorry. I thought it was malfunction on my side. No, all good, all good. So I'll continue. So she now calls Australia her home. Despite being qualified as an engineer, a certified project manager, and having an MBA, she found it difficult to achieve a sense of acceptance in a culturally different environment in Australia. An entrepreneur by circumstance, she founded her business Confident Speakers Academy when the COVID pandemic hit. Rashmi uses her 2 decades of personal and professional experience as a passionate motivation to help empower people from diverse backgrounds to achieve self-belief and confidence at work and in the community. Her passion, experience, and insights are brought to life through her presentations and workshops, where she covers a number of things. Top 3 being embrace your culture, fast track your career, improve the efficiency of your multicultural staff, presenting confidently at work. So some strategies around how do you present confidently. Now talking about where this is important, multicultural staff, so people of color, where it becomes quite relevant. Inclusivity workshop to help native and non-native English speakers work collaboratively. She is also a TEDx speaker and is currently working on her book titled The Complete Guide to Storytelling for Non-Native English Speakers. So please join me in welcoming Rashmi, who has very, very graciously donated her time for the fundraiser today. Over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Great. So since I have a limited amount of time, I'll just get straight into things. So I created a small PowerPoint just to keep things on point and on target. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the agenda that I thought I'll put together. So I'll share my story. I'll share why one needs to take care of their own mental health. Then I'll move on to how to take care of your mental health. And I know Khushbu and you guys have already discussed a few things, and it'll be nice to hear from you what you all have discussed. Then I have a gift for you all. And then at the end, I would need a favor from you. Is that all good? Shall we get straight into it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So my story. So you see the picture on the screen. That's me in my house here in Perth, Western Australia. I'm wearing a sari. It's my favorite dress. And as Khushbu mentioned, I came to Australia 10 years ago, just like a lot of us Indians, I would say, and even people from different countries. We get married. I got married to my husband. I moved to Australia, and we never thought that we'll be living here this long. Like, we are Australian citizens now, but at that time it was like he was working on 457 visa. I got my partner visa as well, and we thought that we'll live here for some time and then we'll go back home and continue with the rest of our lives there. But destiny had other plans. So his organization sponsored our permanent residency. Then both my daughters are born here, and now we call Australia home. His journey is very straightforward, steady, got headhunted for the role, works for the government, same organization, 10 years. But for me, it has been a very challenging journey. I was fortunate to get a transfer from the company because I'm an engineer and I was working for a multinational. So I got a transfer. I could work in my home office back in 2012, where it wasn't cool, it wasn't common. However, the first shock that Australia gave me, was that I was made redundant next year. And coming from India at that time, a decade ago, employee loyalty was a big thing. And I was like, oh my God, I really took it personally. I thought there is something wrong with me. I probably didn't do the right thing. And then from that stage to finding a local job, and some of you probably can relate that when we come from another country, we just want to fit in. We just want a job, a normal life, no fancy fanfare stuff. We just don't want extra trouble in our life. And that was me back in 2013. And even though I kept trying, and although I was physically located here working with a global team, that experience did not count as local experience. So I started my studies because I was like, oh, I can't sit at home and just, twist my fingers. And I'm not a cleaning freak like you. I hope I was like, one of the ladies you were saying, you were talking about that. I wish I was. Cleaning is the last thing on my agenda. And I have a robot vacuum now, which does the cleaning for me. So I started my MBA journey and then I continued to look for work. Finally, I found work, and there a different set of challenges were waiting for me, just like most of us. So I could not understand the Australian accent and the slang. So I used to listen to the radio going on and going to work and back from work. And then that contract finished. I got another job, which was working for the government. And my younger daughter was 5 months. They asked me to come back. I went back thinking that, they're asking me to come back to work. They must have something good for me in store. Like, still having that Asian mentality where we think that our employer is asking us to come back. They would want us, which is no longer relevant in today's time. So I went back, I finished the project, and I was asked to leave. And I was like, oh my God, that's the second shock that the country gave me, that, okay, yes, I was made redundant. Employee loyalty is not a thing at all. You need to take care of yourself and your family and keep them high up in the priority list. And then the third time it happened when my younger daughter got some health issues, and I thought that, okay, let me take a break and I would find work again when she goes back to school. And that was 2020, and pandemic had hit and I could not find work. 6 months I spent introspecting. What do I like? What do I want to do? What will happen to us? Because the whole world was struggling at that time. People were struggling to maintain their jobs. What was I thinking that I'll get another job and start afresh? And then I hired a business coach who actually helped me identify that speaking is my strength, and not everyone is confident in speaking. So I could actually teach other people to become confident, how to present confidently, how to think on the spot. And that's when I founded the Confident Speakers Academy. So why I share your story, my story with you, is if anything that you can take away from it is, it will be up to you, because different people hear this and tell me different things that they have picked up. But in my view, it is resilience and taking care of my own mental health, because the 3 instances that I've shared with you, because earning and being financially independent is so important to me, I was really, really taken aback when I was made redundant, when I could not find work, when there was no possibility of finding work in 2020. Like, it was just not possible. So I actually have gone to my GP telling him that this is what I'm facing. And in my community and the community that I got married into, it's not common at all. It is taken as something that, oh, something wrong with your brain? Are you going to an asylum? Have you gone mad? And fighting all of that to actually seek help is what I would say has kept me afloat despite the challenges that I've faced. And that's why I talk about it now openly. And I'm able to talk about it because I know that it is important for others to listen and know that it is okay. So that's my story in terms of why. So I would like to hear from you here. Why do you think it is important? Any thoughts?
You mean self-care, Rashmi?
Yes, definitely. Self-care.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and one that we've all been sort of answering in our own ways in the last 45 minutes or maybe 1 hour.
Yeah, I know. It is an interesting one.
It was really good. Some of the things that we collectively came up as a group, and please add in, there are ways you take care of yourself, because obviously life is life happens.
Yes.
We were going through some of the strategies of what do you do when the day is not looking sunny. And like you were saying, dusting is obviously on the top of the list. But
Sure.
then you have,
Try that, guys.
but then you have meditation, you have you just have exercise, and then you have
Smashing stuff.
smashing stuff.
Yeah.
or just talking to people, being in the company of people, or sometimes just walking out from the situation. It's just so important to be able to be self-aware.
Absolutely. And these are some very good practical strategies. And in the next section, I'm going to categorize them in 5 specific categories so that you can take those away and remember them. Because when we group things together, it's easier for our brain to process them. So in my view, it is very important to take care of our mental health, because that decides the state of our being. The state of our mental health decides how we feel in terms of our emotional health and how we also appear physically. And a lot of people sometimes do not realize that our mental health has an impact on our physical health. And studies have shown time and again, although they are not very popular studies, but they have shown time and again that if you're feeling sad, there is a high likelihood that you'll catch some common infection, like a common cold or something, because our immunity goes down. So it's very important to take care of our mental health if we want to lead a happy, healthy life. Moving on to the how. So as an engineer, that is drilled in me very deep down that, okay, you need to know the why that instrument got faulty and how you're going to fix it. So I always talk about the why and the how. So in terms of how, you already have shared some really, really good strategies. As I mentioned, that I'll categorize them in 5 categories. So the first one is be mentally active. And when I say be mentally active, what I mean is that use your brain. You can have simple things like a budgeting exercise, for example. So if you create a budget for your home or for an event or for organizing something in the community, you are actually using your mental faculties. Playing simple mind games like Sudoku would be helpful. The second category is being physically active, which I'm sure, we all are aware of: taking walks, going for a swim, dancing, doing anything that actually makes us physically active. And the technical reason behind it is that when we do something physically active, our brain releases the happiness hormones. And that's when we feel good. So if we are active every single day, even if it is just for 15-20 minutes, trust me, I now do it on a regular basis as per my GP and my mental health counselor's advice, that every day I should be spending 30 to 45 minutes with myself. So I go for a walk 20 minutes and then 20 minutes I dance. And I just put music that I like, headphones in my ears, and I don't really care who's watching or what actions or what moves. So physically active, and that's why it is important. Socially active. This is something a lot more relevant in the Australian context as in comparison to the Asian culture, I would say, because in India, in the Asian culture, the culture is community oriented. Whereas in Australia, we all live together, there's so many houses, but where are the people? And I did a small survey in my local area some time ago. I actually went door knocking and I realized that people do not even have doorbells these days. And my next door neighbors, when I told them that they don't have a doorbell, they actually looked at me in such a state of surprise and shock. And then they told me that actually they never use their front door. So they come through the garage, they go out through the garage, no one ever door knocks, and that's why they don't even have the doorbell. So being socially active within your community, catching up with your friends, doing things in a social context also actually really, really helps us with our mental health. Spiritually active. So I would not say that everyone is religious. I respect everyone's faith and belief. So if you believe in God, yes, go to the religious pathway. But being spiritually active has also been shown as a very good strategy in taking care of our own mental health. So whatever you believe in, God, universe, just be aware that there is a force greater than your own self. And the last one is culturally active. It is my favorite because the keynotes that I deliver, that is about embrace your culture, fast track your career. So as an individual, we all come from different cultural backgrounds. Before we go out and start understanding other people's culture, whether they are our friends, whether they are our colleagues or neighbors, we need to know I need to know what is my cultural heritage. What country of origin do I come from? What is my mother tongue? What are the festivals that I celebrate? What are the little cultural nuances that my family follows? So once I know about that, then I'm a lot more accepting to know and curious to know about other cultures. And when I'm doing that, actually my brain is learning every time I'm speaking and I'm curious to know about someone else's culture. And then if I know about my culture, then I can even pass it on to the next generation. So if you have children or grandchildren, then you can actually teach them about your own culture. And in the community, you can have those chat sessions where people talk about their culture, they bring in food, they talk about languages. So all these 5 categories are very, very beneficial in terms of taking care of your mental health. Do we have any questions?
I don't have any question. I just want to add, being a Indian, we have so many festivals. I just love it. I think one of the, in terms of being culturally active, one of the benefits is that how we celebrate is coming all together, actually, which is a way of connecting, right? Socially connecting with everybody. So
Absolutely.
Colors, which
Absolutely. And that is the intent. If we go back in the history and read a little bit about it, then that was the intent of festivals, because festivals, they break the monotony of the day-to-day life and they bring perspective, color, people together, food. So yeah, you are absolutely right. So in terms of what we learned today, any thoughts? Did we learn anything today? Or was I just blabbering along?
I think you're all really, really good points, Rashmi, and some of those really stood out. Like when you were talking about, like we always know that while you, again, going back to Beyond Blue and the reason why we're here today,
Sure.
we have these helplines, right? We always have these helplines where you can call somebody and you can talk to them. So while I believe in that system, that yes, you sometimes from time to time might need to call someone, especially if you don't have that social structure where you can lean on support on someone. But I'm a bigger believer of having people in the community supporting you. So I think you are best placed getting support and personalized advice from someone who knows you, who you have a deeper connection with, as against speaking to a stranger. So I'm not in any way downplaying what the service does, but I do think that if you from time to time come together, have those meaningful conversations, have catch-ups with people, especially in this post-COVID world,
Yes.
probably support you better, place your mental health better, and you'll probably you'll just feel supported, organically.
Absolutely. That's so true. And in terms of seeking help outside from the professionals, coming from a personal experience, I would say that they are trained professionals. So if anyone gets diagnosed with anxiety or depression or any other mental health condition, then it is always better to seek professional help. Like in my personal experience, when I went to my GP and I told him that I'm not able to cope, I'm getting angry, I'm losing my temper at my kids, and I just don't know why I get upset. Like, so some little things will happen and I'll be like, why did you do this? Why did you not switch on the dishwasher or close the light? Like, little things. You can just say those normally as well. But when there is a lot of chatter going in your brain, then you can't. So then he said exact these words to me, that Rashmi, I'm really happy that you're here today. I'm not going to give you any advice because I'm not trained to give you advice. My job is only to listen from you, diagnose what your mental health condition looks like at this stage in time, and then refer you to the professionals. So yes, definitely seek out, like, on a regular basis, reach out to your friends, get-togethers and all of that. that is going to definitely help you. But if you think you're not able to manage, do not hesitate to seek out help. This is what so that's my favorite fruit, one of my favorite. And the quote that I would like you to remember is that be like a pineapple, wear a crown, stand tall, and be sweet from inside. Because when we wear a crown, that means we keep ourselves in high regard. So whether we agree to this or not, we are the only person that we are going to spend the rest of our life with. People will come in our life and people will go. But the only one person who will always stay is your own self. So it's very important to take care of yourself and keep yourself in high regard. Stand tall. There'll be lots of things that will push you down, but be resilient and stand back tall again. And be sweet from inside, because when you're sweet from inside, then you can help, you can provide support to others because you care.
That's deep. And
Yeah, I know, for a pineapple it is. Thank you. So this is my gift for you. So if any of you would like to reach out to me, you can go to this link, reachrashmi.com, and you can book a conversation slot. I won't be charging anything. Just mention either Khushbu's name or the mental health October fundraiser, and I'll be happy to talk to you. So no charges, no obligations. You can book a slot if you like. And this is what I wanted from you. So this is the favor. So there is this QR code here. So if you can scan it, it'll take you to my organization's Google page. And if you can leave a review on, first it'll ask you to leave a rating. So you can leave whatever you think, maximum is 5-star. Whatever you think is right, you can leave a rating and a comment that you heard me talk, whether you like my talk or you didn't like my talk, whatever honest feedback. Because when I apply to conference organizers to be as a speaker, then they go to my go to my Google page and they look through the reviews to see if I've actually delivered talks and how did people receive, how did my audience receive my talk. So that's my ask from you. So if you can do that, that'll be really, really nice. And that's it. So you can stay in touch. I have a YouTube channel. So if you look me up, you'll be able to find tips on speaking confidently, staying calm, thinking on the spot. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Rashmi Vatal is my name, pretty unique. And thank you very much.
that's just
Thank
as unique
you.
as
Thank
mine.
you.
Thank you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Rashmi. This was beautiful. I've got your QR code, so I'll share it
Okay.
with you. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Any questions, anything before I go?
Anything, anyone?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rashmi.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.